What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we aren't going to be doing much talking. We'll be building a WhatsApp view once, sort of like clone, but not really clone, but just the core functionality of it, like behind the thinking of what they thought and how they actually made it, right? So without wasting any time, let's jump straight into VS Code. So as you can see, I'll be using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to build this. So nothing fancy, just basic JavaScript, and yeah, let's jump straight into it. So of course, what we do need first, we will need some styles. So I won't be using a external file, so we'll just use basic styles. But for now, we'll get back to this. What we're going to build is the initial HTML, right? Basically, yeah. So let's just put this in the correct place. Right. So yeah, let's start building. So we'll have a div, and we'll have a class of chat, which is the main container, right? And then we'll have another div which will have a class of bubble, right? And lastly, we'll have a div which will have an ID. So this one will be used for JavaScript. So this one is going to be a view once button with a class. We need a class also. Do this with a class of view-once. Okay, and it will just say view once. All right. Let me see. How do I show preview? Okay, so here it is. View once. Right. Let's continue. I want to minimize this so we can be able to see what we're actually doing. All right, so now that we have that sorted, we can go on. Yeah, let's go on. So we'll need a div with an ID, of course. The ID will be for the image container. So this is the one that's going to hold our image, because I'm planning on using there's this website where you can find images. It's always hosted, so we'll be using that. I'm so sorry, my tripod decided to fall down, so yeah. Anyways, let's continue as we were. Right, so image. So this is the one that's going to hold in our image, the one I was telling you about. So the website is essentially https pixam dot photos 300 by 200, and we'll have an alternative of view once, just in case the photo does not show. Okay, so we'll be able to see it here, right? So it generates different photos each and every time when you loop it. All right. Okay, perfect. This is perfect. Let's move on. So now that we have that sorted, we are good. I think this is good for the HTML. Now let's do some stylings. All right, we need to have some sort of styling to make it look a bit nice, you know, presentable. So what we can do for the styles is we can just grab the body real quickly, and within the body we'll just set the font family to be Arial. All right, this is great. And we'll change the background to be a specific color, maybe something like ECE. I think it's 5DD. All right, and we'll display. We'll just make this into a flex container, and we'll justify. We'll just center the whole thing, and then we'll try to align everything to be centered, and we'll just set the height to be just in the middle. So now everything is just centered. Let's view this. Okay, so as you can see, everything is currently centered in the middle. Okay, this is great. All right, let's move on. So now let's try to style the okay, this is, the body is great. Let's get the chat. So we're getting this whole container right now, right? This is the chat. Right. So what we can do with it, we can set the width to be around 350 pixels. And we can set the background to be just white. And let's set the border radius to be 10 pixels. Nothing crazy. And let's set the padding to be around 15 pixels. Alright, so this is looking good. Let's view how it actually looks. Okay, this is good. This is good. Right, so let's move on and let's style this section right here, the bubble. Okay. So for the bubble, what we'll be targeting is we'll just check the background and make it a specific color, maybe something like DCF 8C6, you know. And we can just make the padding all around to just 10 pixels. And we can make the border radius to be also 10 pixels, like a bit curvy, and the bottom to be also 10 pixels, and the max width to be 80%. Okay, and that's it for the bubble. And now the most important part is the view ones, right? This class right here, so just copy it so we don't make mistakes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change the cursor because we're going to be pointing on top of it, so we need it to like do, you know, let's view it. So you see here, yeah, it must point, a pointing cursor, and we'll just change the color of it to be something unique, like a 075E54 dark color, and we'll change the font weight to be a bit bold. And we just display this whole thing to be a flex box also, so that we can be able to align it. Right, and let's have a gap, so we can have a gap between the picture and the view ones button. Okay, and now that we have this, it's essentially like this is actually it, right? What we do need now is something for the image container. This one right here. This one right here. Yeah. Image container. And we're going to target the image itself. So what we need is we need the width to be 100%. So it must fit the border, right? So our border radius should be around, let's make it 8 pixels. And let's target the hidden, just to set it to display none, right? Display, so we don't want to see anything. Display none. Okay, no, this looks good. This looks good. So we can't really see anything happening. We only see view ones, which is what we want to actually see. And now for the functionality of it, we're going to use JavaScript, so we can be able to click here and we'll be able to view ones. Right, so let's actually do that now. I think the rest of the things are like good. Everything's good. Now let's jump into the script. I'll be doing everything inside one file. Okay, so now this is where the fun actually begins. So let's just put everything inside our variables. So let's call this a view once button. So we're going to get our document, going to get our element by ID, which, let's just minimize this so we can see better. Get element by ID, which is, the ID is view once button. It's this one here, the ID, right? Let's copy and paste it so that we don't make mistakes. Okay. And another thing that we're going to need is const is the image container. So when I get the element by ID also, which is the image container, it's right here. Let's copy this so that we don't make mistakes. Right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to set the viewed to be false. Okay. All right, this is good. So viewed is set to false because we don't want to see anything yet until we actually click it, right? So now let's target the view once button, and we're going to add an event listener. We want something to happen when we click, right? So when we click, we need something to happen. So once we click this, we need to see that if it's not viewed, right? So if our view is not active, then our image container dot I think it's class list remove. We must set this into our hidden. Remember our hidden class list. So it's hidden. Okay. And then our view once button must have text content of saying that, hey, dude, this is opened. Okay. And then our viewed will be then set to true. I spelled viewed wrong all along. Our viewed will be then set to true. Equals to true. Perfect. I was wondering why we had an error. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to remove, let's just put this here as a comment. We need to remove the image after we are done closing. Okay, so let's set a timer. So let's set timeout function and just add a. All right, now we're going to get the image container and its class list, and we're going to add the hidden class name, right? We're going to target that. All right, so now I'm going to set this to 5 seconds. And else, whatever else statement here, it should alert us that this media can only be viewed once. Okay, and yeah, that should be it for our JavaScript. And let's save this and let's try to run it. And let's click. It opened. It should close after 5 seconds, and it's closed, and you see it's changed to opened. Let's click again. We cannot open it anymore unless we refresh it and we get a view once notification that we've been sent a view once. We click it, it's opened. After 5 seconds it will close and we cannot open this again, right? So yeah, that is basically how the WhatsApp view once initially works, right? But of course, within WhatsApp, you can click the view once and you can stay there for as long as you want. But once you close it, you cannot open it, right? So here we'd have to implement a button to close and open and all that, which is, it's going to take a long time. I just wanted to showcase the initial function that they use, which is similar to this one right here. It's a bit more complex than this one, of course, but it's more or less the same principle. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and do feel free to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll catch you on the next one.